Necrophilia, one of the darkest and most misunderstood human behaviors. It evokes fear, revulsion, and curiosity. However, what is the reason for being sexually attracted to the dead? Is it a twisted fantasy, a psychological disorder, or something far deeper? In this video, we will explore the psychological and neurological factors behind necrophilia, explore real historical and criminal cases, and try to uncover the secrets of this terrifying attraction. Necrophilia, derived from the Greek words nekros, meaning corpse, and philia, meaning love, refers to an individual's sexual attraction to corpses. Since its appearance in medical publications in the 19th century, however, historical accounts indicate the behavior has existed throughout human history. Early civilizations often viewed it as an abomination, but explanations for necrophilia varied, from demonic possession to mental illness. Psychologically, necrophilia is often linked to profound feelings of control, dominance, and fear of rejection. Many necrophiles exhibit characteristics of severe attachment disorders. Some feel a deep inability to connect with living partners, finding the idea of a passive, unresponsive corpse fulfilling their need for a relationship where there is no fear of abandonment or judgment. Psychiatrists often associate necrophilia with other disorders, including psychopathy and extreme forms of sexual sadism. However, not all necrophiliacs are violent. Some report feeling a distorted sense of love and companionship with the dead. But could there be neurological factors behind necrophilia? Research has shown that abnormalities in brain regions responsible for impulse control, empathy, and sexual arousal may play a role. The amygdala, involved in emotional responses, and the prefrontal cortex, which controls decision-making, often show dysfunctions in patients with necrophilia. In some cases, we find that damage to or abnormal activity in these areas of the brain could lead to altered perceptions of what is sexually stimulating. When combined with traumatic life experiences, this could potentially explain how someone could develop such a disturbing attraction. Throughout history, numerous cases of necrophilia have shocked society. One of the earliest documented cases is that of Victor Ardisson, a French gravedigger from the late 19th century, known for violating over 100 corpses. His necrophilic behavior was eventually discovered after his arrest, and it revealed a man obsessed with the dead. Next, the case of Carl Tanzler, a professional radiologist who migrated from Germany to Florida in the 1930s, is described as a case study of a smitten radiologist and a young tuberculosis patient, Elena Hoyos. Following her death, Tanzler stole her corpse from her tomb, preserved her with wax and plaster, and lived with the corpse for nearly a decade before being discovered. Tanzler's case is a fascinating example of romance obsession, which escalated into necrophiliacs. His bond with Elena, even after death, was a pathological obsession, a twisted kind of love, the result of a pathologic distortion of love, and this motivated him to keep and perpetuate their romance in private. In more recent history, some notorious criminals have been diagnosed as necrophiliacs. Jeffrey Dahmer, one of the most infamous serial killers, admitted to engaging in necrophilia with many of his victims. Dahmer's crimes not only involved murder but also cannibalism and attempts to preserve his victims' corpses. Another chilling case is that of Edmund Kemper, the co-ed killer, who murdered multiple young women in the 1970s and engaged in necrophilia with their remains. Kemper's history of abuse and psychological torment provides further insight into the mind of a necrophiliac and the extreme lengths such individuals may go to fulfill their desires. Necrophilia is illegal in most parts of the world, classified as both a sexual offense and a crime against public decency. The desecration of a body, regardless of motive, is a punishable act in many countries. Yet, there is ongoing debate about how to classify necrophilia in a legal sense, whether it should be treated as a criminal act or a mental disorder requiring psychological treatment. In many legal systems, there is a blurred line between criminal behavior and mental illness when it comes to cases of necrophilia. While some offenders may face imprisonment, others may be institutionalized for psychiatric care, depending on their mental state at the time of the offense. Necrophilia remains one of the most taboo and unsettling subjects in both psychology and criminology. As we continue to explore the complexities of the human mind, we can only hope to better understand what drives such dark, disturbing behaviors. Whether rooted in trauma, brain dysfunction, or a desperate need for control, necrophilia remains a grim reminder of how complex and sometimes tragic the human psyche can be. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more in-depth explorations into the darkest corners of the human mind.